Hello, and welcome to this episode of Life Exchange Stories of Understanding. I'm your host, Kelsey Ross, and today, there is no guest. It's just you and me. We're doing things a little differently this time, because today is a very special episode. Believe it or not, it's been a whole year of stories, of lives, and of exchanges, and of time together. And it is really, really hard to believe that. I mean, it seems like just the other day, we came together and talked about the idea of this podcast, and we're just brainstorming this as just something to do. And now here we are, 365 days later, and we've had so many episodes and so many incredible guests here, sharing their stories, sharing their life experiences, and sharing their advice with all of you. And what a journey it has been. And it's been incredible. And it's been mind-blowing, and it has been the coolest experience of my life. And I hope it has been just as enjoyable for you as it has been for me and for all of us here on the Life Exchange team. And I just can't thank you all enough for listening, for tuning in, for sharing the episodes, and for giving our guests the support and the love that they so deserve, and just for making this possible. This has been so cool. I say it all the time, and I mean it. This is the coolest part of my job. This is the best part of my job. Anytime I get to sit down and talk to a host family or an exchange student or one of our volunteers, I get to hear their stories. I get to hear their passion and their dreams and their hopes and their goals. I light up, and I get more inspired, and I get more excited to sit down and do the next one. And I get more ready to do even more for this organization. So I can't thank you enough for tuning in every episode. I'm sorry, as you may hear, I'm a little under the weather, which is why I look and sound the way that I do. But I did not want to wait to do this. This is a special occasion. But as you may have seen on our social media, we did ask for some questions that you may have had about life exchange, about studying abroad. And a few of you were kind enough to submit some questions in. To those of you who did, thank you so much for that. And we wanted to take a chance to answer some of them. So without further ado, let's get into our Q&A. Somebody asked, what surprised you the most about hearing students' stories over the past year? Great question. I would say what surprises me the most over and over again about hearing the students' stories is their bravery. Without a doubt, that is the number one thing that surprises me every single time. You may have heard me say it in a few episodes, but I did not get the chance to study abroad. One of the reasons we wanted to start this podcast is to let people know in the United States that they can study abroad in high school, because it's not something that's very common for people in the United States to do in high school. It's generally more of a college thing, and people think that that's not really something that they can do. And we want to change that perspective, and we want to let people know that that is an opportunity for them. And so to hear these stories of these young people stepping into something that is completely unknown, getting away from their comfort zone and everything that is familiar to them, and entering a world that is totally new, speaking an entirely new language, meeting entirely new people, living with people they don't know, immersing themselves in a new culture, trying new things, trying new foods, experiencing things that they have never experienced before, overcoming challenges and obstacles, facing things that they never thought they would have to before. I, every single time, am just in awe of their bravery, of their courage, of their gumption. And it is so inspiring. And it's the coolest thing, especially looking back, because I've had the opportunity several times to go to our National Pre-Departure Orientation, or NPDO as we call it here, which is our orientation for our American exchange students who go abroad. So I've met a few of these students before they go abroad. And then the chance to get to talk to them after they've been on exchange and to see the growth in them and how different they are from that point when I first met them before they left to now, after they've been on exchange, is mind-boggling. And to see how much braver they are, how much more confident they are, how much more sure they are of themselves. It's so cool. It's like, these humans are awesome. Like, and to have just a little part to play in that, in their stories, it's such an honor. And to have these parents trust us with that is so humbling. It's such an honor. And I can't thank these parents and these students enough for that. So to them, to the students and to the parents who trust us with these experiences, just thank you so much for that. You have no idea what an honor it is. And it is truly humbling that you allow us to be part of that journey for them. And thank you. So what is the most memorable student story you've heard on the podcast? That's like asking me to pick a favorite child as a mother. That's hard. It's just so hard. There's favorite moments in every single podcast episode, you know? I mean, I could mention like Keith, our lovable host dad, when he's talking about the tomahawk steaks and, seeing bagged milk for the first time in Poland. Hi, Keith. Or talking about Lara and Lexi and creating that close bond they did as a host mom and an exchange daughter, and how wonderful that was. And hi to them. And speaking of Lara and Lexi, very exciting news about them. If you are a fan of their episode and a fan of them like I am, you are definitely going to want to tune in, because coming very, very soon, we are going to be having them back on the podcast to do a 1-year update live here in studio. Well, not live, but in studio to tell us all about what they've been up to and to give us all their new stories. And I am so excited. So you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, it's going to be great. Okay. Hopefully more ranch stories. That's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed. Hidden Valley. By the way, Hidden Valley, I've been reaching out to you. Hidden Valley Ranch. Hello, knock, knock. Hello. We'd love to talk. Just say it. Anyway. Or any ranch. Any ranch. I'd love it. I'd love to talk to any ranch company. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Or Grant from Challenger Sports, and hearing like the passion that the soccer players and the coaches have for soccer and the love of the game that they have, and just talking with him. And Liz, how her love of exchange has taken her from being an exchange student to now being a host mom. It's hard to pick. It's so hard to pick. I can't pick one. I have moments from each episode that I just love. I have so many. I can't. And so the next question is, what has been your favorite episode in the past year and why? Same problem. I can't pick. It's like asking me to pick a favorite child, and I cannot do that. They're all my babies, and I love all my babies. So I love so many of them for so many different reasons. I love Matt's episode because of, the way he was able to overcome his challenges, and specifically the story that he told about first getting the idea to study abroad because of Charlie Brown. Bon voyage, Charlie Brown. I love Greta's story because of her being able to overcome challenges and also sharing our fear of chickens together. They are still scary. I don't care what anybody says, okay? And I also love Gabby's story, because of her resilience and being first generation and finding her way in the world. I find inspiration in all of these stories. I find favorite parts in all of these stories. So it's truly so challenging to find a favorite. I can't find a favorite. Honestly, I really can't. So I'm not going to pick a favorite. There. But what topic or story do you most want to cover in year 2? Okay, this is a good one. This is a great question. Thank you so much for this question, because I definitely know how I want to answer this. I would love to hear more stories from host families and from volunteers, specifically host families, though. We have lots of incredible exchange student stories, and they are wonderful. And we do get a lot of perspectives from them about the hosting experience and what can make it good for the exchange student. But I really think it could be beneficial for people who are interested in hosting and wanting to know what it's like to be a host parent to hear more from host families about what it's really like to host an exchange student. And we've had some incredible host parents on the podcast. We've had Megan, we've had Crystal and Eric, we've had Keith, we have had Liz, who is now currently hosting, we've had Jared, we've had Justin and Carrie, we've had Scott, who's hosted. I mean, we've had incredible people. We've had some great perspectives, but it would be so great to have even more to share their perspectives and to share their advice for future host families out there and to share why hosting is so great. And so I would really love if we could get a few more host families out there. If it wouldn't be too much to ask, that would be really appreciated, please. Okay. And also some more volunteers would be wonderful to have on here. Volunteers and local coordinators. You know, volunteers and local coordinators are the backbone of YFU. We are a volunteer-led and run organization. To hear why you all are so passionate about this organization and why you are here and why you serve here would be great. And it could also inspire other people to become part of it and to join our mission to spread cultural exchange. And I think that could be wonderful. And maybe even some board members. We did have Yarland on, who was one of my absolute favorite guests. Hi, Yarland. I hope you're doing well. It would be great to have a few more on, you know, see what's going on, who was leading the future of YFU, and see what makes them passionate about YFU, and see what makes them want to serve this place, what they want to see for the next 75 years. Because we've been around for 75 years. It's our 75th anniversary. It's also a big year for YFU in general. A lot of anniversaries going on around here. Oh, sorry, I hit Plantasia. By the way, I don't know if y'all know about my lovely co-host over here. This is Plantasia Marina. She is the actual star of the show. Don't let me get you wrong. She is beautiful. She is lovely. She is leafy. And she's been here for every single episode, holding it down. And we thank her for her service. What did you learn in year 1 that will change how you approach the podcast going forward? Well, I would say one thing that I've learned personally is how to be a better listener. I know in the beginning, that was a skill that I had to learn pretty quickly, because listening like you would when you're in person with somebody and having a conversation, it's much different than doing it in an interview setting. You have to be actively listening, you have to be on your toes, and you have to be, listening for different things to ask different questions about. It's a skill called active listening that is very different than normal listening. And it's something I had to get better at. It's something I'm still getting better at. Especially, it's tricky. It's a tricky skill to do over video calls. And I'm trying to get better at it. I hope you think I'm getting better at it, fingers crossed. And one thing I also learned is to not be so scared. I'm sure you probably noticed in the beginning, I was terrified to do these episodes. Oh my gosh, I was horrified. It was so scary. The first few were so nerve-wracking, and I was so scared to mess up and just say the wrong thing or to look silly or just look bad. And after a while, I just realized, I had to just trust myself and trust that I was going to be okay, and trust that my lovely editor behind the camera is not going to let me look bad. and just trust the process. So Yeah, that's a good thing to remember when you're on exchange and while you're hosting too. Just trust the process. There's going to be miscommunications. There's going to be misunderstandings. You're going to say the wrong things from time to time. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. Just roll with it, rewind, edit, and try again. And you'll be fine. Obviously not with all the tech things that we have to with podcast editing, but it's a similar thing. You know what I'm trying to say, right? At least that's what they keep telling me with the study abroad stories. But speaking of study abroad stories, we had the honor of having a few of our guests send in some updates. It was really great. We asked a few of them to send in some updates to let us know what they've been up to for the past year. And a few of them sent in some videos to tell us what they've been doing. I have not seen these yet. So I'm going to be reacting to these with you and seeing what they're doing too. And I am really excited to see what's going on. So let's jump right into it. Oh, our first one is from Gabby.
Hi, Life Exchanged. My name is Gabriela Guarin, and I was a YFU student who did the CBYX program back in 2024, and I was a guest on the Life Exchange podcast back in August of 2025. A lot has changed since I ended my exchange year back in June of 2025. It's been almost a year, and my life has been so amazing since the end of that amazing opportunity. If you remember back from my podcast interview, I had mentioned how I got accepted into the University of Iowa. And so now I'm about to complete my first year at the University of Iowa studying English and creative writing. I also declared pre-law, and I also declared the human rights certificate. So hopefully all of this will help me make it to my goal of someday becoming a human rights lawyer, which I'm so excited about. My life has really changed for the better since the end of my exchange year. I started a new school. I have started going to new clubs. I've joined different organizations. I joined an organization where we help a lot of medically vulnerable children by dressing up like princesses or just anything that makes them smile, and recently got accepted into the executive board. So I'm looking for those leadership positions now, and I would not have been able to do it had not been for the confidence that I gained in that exchange program. The exchange program really helped me find my voice and really helped me navigate through new moments in life that could seem extremely scary at first, but kind of just taught me how to dive in head first. Because at this point, I'm thinking if I could get around a country where I can barely speak the language for 10 months, I can handle going to a club meeting for the first time, right? But other than that, I mean, I've been making new friends. I don't know if you ever saw my interview, but I mean, I got new glasses, so that's a good, fun thing to mention. But other than that, I've just been living my life. I've been very open-minded to what has been going on in our country and in my world. I mean, I've been wanting to try so many new things that I never thought I could try. For the briefest moment, for example, I tried figure skating, yet never again. I did not. I was not that coordinated for that, but I would never have thought to even try it had it not been for the confidence that I got after traveling in Germany for 10 months. So that's one way that my life has really changed. And I was so happy to hear that the Life Exchange podcast is now celebrating 1 year. That's crazy. I had no idea. I feel very fortunate that I got to have a podcast interview about a year ago now. I was still in Germany when I did the interview, and it was released when I got back. So if you guys are still interested, feel free to go back into the Life Exchange podcast and look up my name, Gabriela Guarin, and you will see and hear a little bit about my adventures when I was in Germany. For any future exchange students or for any future potential exchange students, one advice that I would give you when you're about to embark on this journey, I would highly recommend saying yes to everything. I have mentioned this before in my podcast interview, and I stand by it to this day. Going on an exchange is an amazing opportunity, but it can also be extremely terrifying. You're about to embark to a new place that you don't understand the culture, forget knowing the language most of the time. But most of all, it's a moment where you feel at your most vulnerable. You're going to feel very alone a lot of times. When you find those friends, when you find those people who will be there to guide you, who will give you those tools to move forward on this exchange, you will be invited to a lot of things. You will get many opportunities to try new things that you never thought you'd be able to try. And it's very important that you say yes to those, because even though it's scary, you trying it you might like it. I mean, when I was in Germany, I tried hiking. I live in Iowa. There is not a lot of places that are available to hike. I mean, we grow corn and I absolutely loved hiking. And now I'm pretty sure that had I not been hiking so much in Germany, I would not be able to survive here on campus, considering I have to walk everywhere to get to my classes. So for any future exchange students or anybody thinking about doing an exchange, do it and say yes to everything. Try every opportunity that's there for you. I mean, what do you have to lose? As an exchange student, I've also learned this, as an exchange student, there is no such thing as embarrassment, okay? You are there to learn. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to trip up. You might sound a little bit ridiculous from time to time, but hey, you learn. That's what matters. And most of all, you found something that you enjoy. So to any future exchange students, say yes. Go on that exchange. Go have fun and try new things, okay? So happy to hear that the Life Exchange is celebrating 1 year of this podcast. It has been an amazing way for parents, students, teachers, anybody who has ever even thought about doing an exchange to hear about personal experiences and how they have changed other people's lives. If you guys still want to talk to me personally about my own experience as an exchange student and about potentially doing one, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Gabby 2006 _ Deutschland. That's Gabby, Gaby 2006 _ Deutschland. I no longer post on the account, as it was my account that I used for my exchange, just sharing my experience there, but I still check here regularly. So if you have any questions whatsoever about doing an exchange, how to prepare for it, how to prepare to meet your host family, or anything else that you're not sure of, you can absolutely DM me through there. I am happy to share my experience, share my own struggles that I had with my exchange, but also help you share solutions. So once again, congratulations to Life Exchanged. My name is Gabriela Guarin, and it was great seeing you all again. Bye.
Oh my gosh, Gabby, it was so good to hear from you, and oh my gosh, I can't believe all the changes that have happened to you just in a year. And I am so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. And I mean, you're taking on the world. I knew you'd be a world changer, and I cannot wait to see what you're going to accomplish in the next 5 to 10 to 20 years. And I know for a fact, if you reach out to Gabby with questions, she will respond to you. She is 100% somebody who will guide you, who will help you. So take her up on that. Gabby, thank you so much. It was so good to hear from you. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We have some more. No way. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm geeking out. So our next update we have is from our very first guest, Carola. Okay. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Carola. I was an exchange student in the US 2024-25, and I'm also from Estonia. I think one thing that I realized after the podcast and when I came back to Estonia was the fact that I could become a YFU volunteer here in Estonia. And I realized how much fun it actually is, and I can share my experience to other students who might be thinking of going on an exchange. I also realized how much I grew during my exchange year, and how much more courage I have now and how much more open-minded I am. And for everybody who's listening here today, I want to say that you should do it, whatever it is, like going on exchange or hosting a student. This experience is so much worth it, and you're never gonna regret that. You should do it, and yeah, thank you. Bye.
Carla, oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. It's so good to hear from you. Oh my gosh. It's such a full circle moment. Wow. This is wild. I'm so glad to hear that you're still involved and you're part of volunteering with YFU Estonia. Shout out to YFU Estonia. They have some of my favorite people within the YFU network. Hi, Kadri. Hi, Renata. I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, hi. Anyway, oh my gosh. Carola, it's so good to hear from you. It's so good to see that you're doing well. I'm so glad that you're staying involved. I cannot wait to see what else you get up to. Thank you so much for sending in your update. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is such a cool day. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have more updates. Oh my gosh. Okay. This next one is from Marina. No way.
Hi, my name is Marina, and I was an exchange student in Austria. And my podcast episode came out in December, but we filmed it in July. So something that has changed in my life since then, I traveled to London for the first time, returning to Europe since I left Austria last July. And it was a really fun trip with my mom and my brother. And it was really cool to hear tourists speaking German and being able to understand them. Something else is that there are exchange students at my school this year. So I've become really close friends with one of the girls from Germany. And this is a new development because before I left on my exchange, there were no exchange students at my school. So that's been really fun. And a quick message to the listeners of the podcast. If you've been listening to this podcast, wondering if you'd study abroad, take this as your sign to do it, because I promise it's going to be amazing and life-changing, and you won't regret it no matter what happens. So, yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Marina, my goodness, it's so good to hear from you. Oh, I bet London was absolutely incredible. I cannot imagine what that was like. It must have been so cool to be able to like walk around and understand like the German conversations happening around you. That would have been like, I bet that was so cool. I would have been jealous. That's awesome. And the fact that you are now able to like continue being a global ambassador and able to help welcome in the exchange students that are in your school and make them feel more at home. And you're able to understand the experience that they're currently having because you just had it. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Oh my gosh. And your hair looks incredible in this video, by the way. You just have the best hair. I love your hair. Totally side topic. Anyway, but it's so great to hear from you. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to hear what else you get up to in the next years. It's so great to hear from you. Congratulations. Wonderful. And shout out YFU Austria. Annika, if you're listening, hi. Anyway, thank you, Marina. Thank you so much. We have another update. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. Okay. Okay. This one is from Liz. Ooh, I love her hair.
Hi, Kelsey. This is Liz Zerkott in Portland, Oregon. Host mom, volunteer, alumni. Host momming. It's been happening. We're 2 months now away from Tamina leaving for the year. Even though when my episode was recorded, she hadn't even gotten here yet. So lots of ups and downs for my first rodeo with being a host mom, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been a wonderful, beautiful, easy, but also not easy time. And I'm going to miss her a lot when she goes. A lot. I'm just really grateful that I could be part of this first year of the podcast. And I wish it many more fruitful, successful storytelling years ahead. I've listened to all the episodes and I've learned so much from everybody. So thank you, everybody else who's participated.
Oh my God. Sorry. Liz, oh my gosh. It's so wild. I mean, it's such a cliche, like the time flying, and Tamina hadn't even arrived, and now she's like about to go, and it's the passage of time is such a wild thing, and it blows my mind, and it hurts my brain at the same time. But to bring it back to a different topic, but Liz, your hair also looks incredible. I love your new haircut. That looks incredible on you. And I'm so glad that hosting has gone so well. I'm very curious to hear if you're going to do it again. But it's so great to hear from you. I'm so glad that everything is going so well. And I can't thank you enough for sending this in, telling us about what's been going on with you, and for all that you have given YFU over the years. And congratulations are in order for you as well. I know you are our recent recipient of our Distinguished Volunteer Award. For those who don't know, we have our YFU awards for all sorts of things. If you go to our website, you can see our YFU awards for our Distinguished Host Family, Volunteer, Alumni, and all that. And our wonderful Liz Zirk won for Volunteer. And that is very well deserved. So congratulations to Liz. And thank you so much, Liz, for sending in your update. And we have one more update that was sent in as a written submission from the wonderful Simone. She sent in a little something to let us know what she's been up to since her podcast aired. She was letting us know that she will soon be finishing up her junior year of high school, and she can't believe it's almost been 2 years since her YFU Japan study abroad experience. As the next college application cycle begins soon, she hopes to explore the option of studying abroad once again in university. No way, Simone! Oh my gosh! I really hope you do it. Please do it. And if you do, tell us all about it. I really hope that happens for you. I can't wait. I hope to hear every detail about it. And she has another message for the listeners. She says that studying abroad was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and she couldn't have had it any better without YFU. Thank you so much, Simone. It's so good to hear from you. I wish you all the best with finishing up junior year. I hope that senior year flies by and that you get into the college of your dreams and all your hopes and dreams come true. And if you haven't checked out her YouTube channel to see her study abroad experience, you definitely need to. It's so cool. Her YouTube channel is awesome. She's got some great content on there. Truly, check it out. It's worth it. It's worth a treat. It's such a treat. Oh my gosh. Wow. What great updates. It's incredible. Speaking of that, we have updates ourselves. We've got some stats that we could pull up. We've been checking some things out and have some statistics to share with everybody. You know how Spotify releases their Spotify Wraps for everybody? Well, they also do that for podcast creators to tell them about how their podcast is doing. So we got ours about halfway through halfway through this year, and it was really interesting to hear how things went, and I'd like to share that with some of you. Some of you may have seen those, but just in case, it's kind of cool to see. Our number one episode was Lara and Lexi's episode, so it'll be great to hear them come back on and to see what they've been up to. Be looking out for those updates. And our show was in the top 20% of video podcasts on all of Spotify, which is so wild to me. I mean, we're a team of two doing this. It's just me and Mel, and we're in the top 20 of all of Spotify podcasts. That's mind-blowing. And that's thanks to you all. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Our podcast reached 29 countries overall, which is crazy cool. Oh my gosh. Hello, hola. Those are the languages I know. Sorry, I'm trying to brush up. The top 5 countries are the US, Germany, Estonia, Canada, and Portugal. So maybe we'll have to make a visit to a few of those. And speaking of making visits, I am happy to say this long-running joke of German bread is finally going to die because I will be coming to Germany very soon, in June actually. I will be chaperoning a group of students on a program, and I plan to try as much German bread as I possibly can. Don't you worry. And if you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the social places, you will get to see all of it. So yeah, I'm so excited. So keep up to date on our socials to see every bit of that delicious journey. Back to the stats. So 15% of you listeners hit play within 24 hours of a new episode drop. That's pretty cool. We were a 2025 instant hit show, which is pretty wild. Our debut season was more popular than 84% of other news shows on Spotify. Very, very wild to us. Very humbling. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We're a 2025 talked about show because we received more comments than 93% of other shows on Spotify. So thank you for engaging. Thank you for leaving your insightful comments. We appreciate that. Keep them coming. And we are a 2025 most shared show on Spotify because we received more shares than 98% of other shows on Spotify, which is a very, very shocking and humbling statistic there. What can I say? Thank you. Just thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. And on top of that, we also learned today, there was a list from Million Podcasts that went out. There were 2 lists, actually, that for study abroad podcasts, we are number 1 on that list, podcasts about studying abroad, which means that we beat Ohio State. Yep. Shout out to Julika. We beat them, Julika. Yep, we did. And for youth organization podcasts from Million Podcasts on their list, we were number 4, which is incredible. I mean, again, we're a team of 2 doing this, putting this together, sharing these incredible stories of these incredible people. And without you all listening, sharing, tuning in, it wouldn't be possible. And words can't express how grateful we are, how thankful we are, and how honored and humbled we are that you tune in for every episode. It's hard to put together the words, honestly. It's just so cool that you come together to show these incredible people the love that you do, and you come together for support for cultural exchange and for sharing stories, because this stuff is important and this stuff is so cool. And it's the only way that I feel, and many of us feel, that we're going to achieve true unity across this world. And to play a small part of that, it's really awesome and kind of mind-blowing, really. So I don't want to babble on too much, but all of that to say, thank you for an incredible year. Thank you for a wonderful year. Thank you to every single guest who has been on to share their incredible stories, their bravery, their kindness, and their words of advice. Thank you to the staff who put up with us locking ourselves away for like an hour in a room to do this. And thank you to all of you for tuning in and giving everybody their love, the love and support that you have. And thank you to Mel for editing and for making sure I don't look like an idiot every episode. Here's for another year. Thank you to YFU for being here and for making this all possible. Until next time, this has been Life Exchanged, Stories of Understanding. I've been your host, Kelsey Ross. Bye.
Listen to Life Exchanged Stories of Understanding now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.